Good day folks, Sean here from Air Photography. So the Mavic 4 Pro and the DJI RC Pro 2 have been out for almost 2 weeks now, and I've had a lot of questions about both the drone and the controller, and I thought I'd make a question and answer video just to kind of go over some of the most common questions that I've been asked. We'll just go through these quickly so this video isn't too terribly long. So the first question that I've had, and actually there's been quite a few comments about it, is whether this folding mechanism is going to cause a problem over time. Am I concerned that this will break just from everyday use? And really that's not a question that can be answered. That's just one of those things that, time will tell. But it's not something that I'm concerned about. It's not metal, but it does seem very robust. And when you really think about it, DJI has a lot of experience when it comes to moving parts. If you think about it, all these drones have folding arms. And not once of any DJI drone that I've ever owned, I've had an arm come loose or break just from usage, normal usage. Of course, in a crash, they can be damaged. But every drone that I've ever owned, I've never even seen reports of these just becoming loose from usage over time. So I'm not too concerned myself about the mechanism on the controller. Another question I've been asked, if you buy the whole kit that comes with the 240 watt charger, can you still charge the batteries with USB-C? And yes, indeed you can. On one side, we have the port for the 240 watt charger. That's going to be the fastest way to charge these batteries. It'll charge all three at the exact same time. But on the other side here, we still have a USB-C port. So you can use the 65 watt DJI charger, their 100 watt charger, and you can charge the batteries. It will take a little bit longer than using the 240 watt charger, obviously. But for some scenarios, that might be more convenient. If you're traveling, you may not want to bring that larger, bulkier charger with you. You're going to have USB-C with you anyways for some of your other devices. You can definitely charge up your batteries. And just like previous drones, you can also charge the battery right in the drone by plugging it into the back there in the USB-C port. Now the third question is whether it supports DJI goggles. And the answer is no, unfortunately it does not. And whether they will make it compatible with goggles in the future is kind of up in the air. The Air 3S has been out for over 6 months now, and they have not made it compatible with goggles yet. The Air 3 is compatible, but not the Air 3S. So whether they make it compatible, I'm not sure. Maybe they found that not many people were using that feature, and that's not going to be something going forward. Again, it'll just be one of those things where time will tell. The fourth question is something that I've been asked quite a bit as well, and that's whether the RC Pro 2 has clean HDMI out. We have an HDMI port there right on the front of the controller, and yes indeed it does offer clean HDMI. When you plug it into an HDMI source, right away you're going to have the user interface from the Fly app on the screen. But if you go into the settings, go to transmission, you have the option there of setting it to live view, or you can have the telemetry on the screen as well. So that's just personal preference on what works for what you're doing. Now the fifth question is another good question, and that's whether the RC Pro 2 will fit inside the Air 3S, Air 3, or Mini 4 Pro bag. If you're going to be upgrading to the RC Pro 2, you might be wondering if it'll fit inside. And I can confirm indeed on both bags, both the Mini 4 Pro bag and the Air 3 bag, they both fit with no issue. With the Air 3 or 3S case, the controller will slip down inside with no issue. However, when the RC Pro 2 is in the bag, it is difficult to get the charging hub in as well. It's a very tight fit. Ideally, you're best just to take the batteries out of the charging hub because then they will slip in with no issue. The Mini 4 Pro case, again, the controller fits in no problem, and there's plenty of room for extra batteries in there as well. Now for question number 6, and it's a good question as well. Of course, with the Mavic 4 and the Mini 4 Pro, when we turn the screen on the controller, it'll automatically rotate the camera on the corresponding drone. However, with the Air 3S, because it doesn't have a rotatable camera, some people wondering what happens, how does that work? I just uploaded a demonstration of that test flight with the Air 3S. It actually is pretty neat how it works. If you just turn the screen and you're filming in normal 4K, everything just gets shrunken down to fit on the screen. However, if you put it into the 2.7K vertical format in the settings, when you rotate the screen, you're just going to have a full-size vertical video. It's going to get rid of those black bars on the side. It's still only going to be at 2.7K, but for people who film in vertical, that is a nice feature. Now, question number 7 is to do with getting content off the Mavic 4 Pro, either if you're using the internal memory or a memory card. They're wondering if you plug it into a computer or a tablet or a phone, do you have to have the drone powered on in order to get the content off? And the question is no, you just plug it in, you don't have to unfold it, you don't have to power it on. Your device is going to recognize it as a drive. It'll list both the internal storage and the memory card, depending if you have a memory card installed. It won't power on the drone. It just feeds it basically enough power to get the content off. Now, question number 8 is a really good question. It's to do with dynamic home point. One of the new features of the Mavic 4 Pro and the RC Pro 2 is that it offers dynamic home point that when you're using it for tracking, it'll constantly in real time keep your home point updated to where the controller is. So if you're using the RC Pro 2 with something like the Mini 4 Pro or Air 3S, is that feature available? And unfortunately, it is not. I'm not sure if that's something they're going to add with a firmware update, but currently at the time of filming this video, dynamic home point is only available on the Mavic 4 Pro. Now, question number 9 is whether the Mavic 4 Pro has AirSense, and yes, indeed it does. That's the feature where it will display or give you a warning when a plane comes into an area that you're flying. Again, that's in your settings. You can enable and disable that. Now, question number 10 is whether you're going to get better signal strength if using the new RC Pro 2 with something like an Air 3S, Air 3, or Mini 4 Pro. And I don't really have an answer to that. I've been asked that actually quite a bit. The Mavic 4 Pro features the 04 Plus transmission system, so it has a range of 30 kilometers. Something like the Air 3S has a range of 20 kilometers. And the way it works is the firmware changes on the controller depending on what drone you have connected to it. So when you connect the Air 3S to it or the Mini 4 Pro, it's still only going to be using the 04 transmission system. So in theory, it's not really going to benefit or enhance it at all. Now, the RC Pro 2 does have some upgraded antennas on it, some enterprise level antennas. So perhaps it's going to be a more solid connection. But in my test flights that I've done, I've actually flown the Air 3S probably 4 times with this controller. The Mini 4, I've done maybe 6 flights. And I haven't really noticed any improvements in the areas that I fly. I still get the same kind of signal interference because I fly in and amongst a lot of trees. So I don't think you're going to get any improvement in that aspect. So I wouldn't recommend buying it if that's what you're hoping for. Now, question number 11 is what is the largest memory size card you can put into it? DJI on their website has listed that it will support up to a 1 terabyte card. They specifically list Lexar. So if you want to put a nice large memory card in there, you're able to do so. Now, question number 12 is whether this scroll wheel is also compatible when flying drones such as the Air 3S or Air 3 or Mini 4 Pro. And yes, indeed, if you put the camera into manual mode, you can use that dial to adjust all your camera settings. And it can be used for other aspects within the controller as well. So yes, indeed, that scroll wheel is fully compatible with the Air 3 series and the Mini 4 Pro. Now, question number 13 is a really good question. And it's whether app recording is compatible when using the RC Pro 2 with something like the Mini 4 Pro or Air 3 series. The RC Pro 2 has a built-in microphone and it can automatically embed sound into screen recordings. With the Mavic 4 Pro, you can also embed sound directly into the HD video. However, that feature isn't available when using it with the Air 3 series or the Mini 4 Pro. With Mavic 4 Pro, if you go into the settings, you have the option under camera to turn on and turn off app recording. But when flying it with the Mini 4 Pro or Air 3S, that feature is not available. You can embed audio into the screen recordings, but not the HD video. Now, I'm pretty sure that is something they can add with a firmware update because it is available on other drones, such as the Neo and the Flip. So I do hope that is coming. And another interesting thing that people have made note of is in my full review, I was using beta software and it gave us an option for different levels of sound and noise reduction. With the public release of the firmware, that feature was taken out. So if you've watched my review and you're wondering why you don't have that option, for whatever reason, DJI has pulled that out for the public release. I'm sure it will be coming back in because it is in other versions, or it was in other versions for the DJI Flip and Neo. So maybe perhaps it wasn't quite up to their standard yet. That's the nice thing about DJI is that they don't like software available until it's polished and the user experience is going to be flawless. So I'm sure that will come back at some point, but that's just something to make note of. Now, another good question, and some people have made comments that they're disappointed that there's no way to attach a lanyard. Unlike the FPV controllers that have a built-in spot to attach a lanyard, a single point lanyard, with the RC Pro 2, we do have these attachments here at the front that you can purchase third-party lanyards. If you have one for the RC Pro 2, it is fully compatible. Those screw holes are the same size, so you can easily attach a lanyard. Question number 15 is whether something like an iPad or iPhone can handle 6K footage that's been captured on the Mavic 4 Pro. And yes, indeed, if you're filming in the H.265, 6K footage can be viewed and edited beautifully on an iPad. I've got the M4 iPad. I've tested it on an iPhone 14, an iPhone 15, and that 6K footage works beautifully. There's no lag, so no worries about filming in that high resolution. However, if you film with that new codec, the All-I, that's not compatible with an iPad as of yet. Sometimes I can get it to play. I have had that, but most of the time you just get a black screen. It won't play the video, and it can just really bog it down. Unless you're doing professional work, you're not going to want to film in that codec anyways because it makes massive file sizes. Like a 15-second clip can be upwards of almost 2 gigabytes. The 6K at H.265 is more than adequate. It's really good video quality. Just some stuff to keep in mind if you are going to be filming in 6K. Now, another really interesting question that I was asked and I actually tested is whether you can connect something like the Pocket 3, the Action 5 Pro, something like that right to the controller to use it as a monitor. And indeed, because the RC Pro 2 essentially is like a little mini tablet, you can download and install third-party apps, including the DJI Mimo app, that allows you to connect directly to it. I tested that out with the Action 5 Pro, and it connected with no issue. The nice thing about that is then you can also use the built-in video editor and edit your Action 5 and your drone videos right on the RC Pro 2. Question number 17 is whether the Mavic 4 Pro is louder than the Air 3S. And I would have to say they're very similar. I think the Mavic 4 Pro is a little quieter. It's more of a lower tone. The Air 3S has a higher pitch. It's definitely not as quiet as the Mini 4 Pro, but for the size of the drone, it's actually incredibly quiet. I'll just play some samples here so you can hear the sound difference. Now, question 18 is whether there's better file management on the RC Pro 2 compared to the RC2. People who are going to be upgrading, that's kind of a complaint that's always been, is that it can be very difficult to navigate through and find files. But indeed, on the RC Pro 2, we actually have a Files app. So we can go through and access our HD files, screen recordings. We can move stuff around or transfer them over to the memory card. File management is really easy on the RC Pro 2. Now, number 19 actually is a repeat question. I've already covered that. That was whether you can attach a lanyard, so we'll skip that. And of course, the big question that everybody's been asking is when it will be available in the US. And I wish I had an answer. It's kind of one of those things that nobody really knows except DJI. A lot of different things have come into play, what has prevented it from being launched in the US. I'm sure some of the tariffs have played a part in it, products not being able to get through customs. So there was probably a lot going on that DJI made the decision to hold off on the release. The US is one of DJI's biggest markets, so you can be rest assured that DJI is working hard behind the scenes trying to make it happen. Personally, myself, I can't see this being a long-term problem. I'm sure there's going to be some negotiations in the very near future where these products can start getting through customs and will be available in the US. And I really hope that they get it figured out because Mavic 4 is such an incredible drone. And I just hope that everybody who wants one is going to be able to get one in the very near future. So yeah, folks, those are some questions that have been asked about the Mavic 4 Pro. Hopefully this answered some of your questions. If there was a question that I didn't cover in this video, just ask me down in the comments. If it's a question I can answer, I'll be more than happy to answer any questions you have, or somebody else from the community I'm sure will be more than happy to answer. Hopefully you enjoyed this video and found it had value. Thanks a lot for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.